Hi everyone, we're going to learn how to write the point-slope form of an equation of a line that passes through 2 points, and then write the equation in standard form. We're doing exactly the same thing we did in the previous video. The only thing is we have to do an extra step, and we have to find the slope, which we already learned how to do in the 2 videos prior to this one. So remember, this is a point-slope form here, and this is your slope formula. This is standard form. Remember, a has to be positive, and it can't be a fraction. Okay, so we're going to get started, and we have the 2 points. So we want to put it in point-slope form, so we can write any of these points. We can pick any of the points we want. You can pick this point or this point. So I'll just kind of pick the first one. We get y minus 2 equals my slope times x minus a negative 5. Just like we did last time, but we don't have the slope. So we have to find the slope. And we're going to use our formula here. This is a minus. And I'm going to call this 0.1. So this is x of 1, y sub 1. I'm going to call this one 0.2. So that's x of 2, y sub 2. Now, my slope is going to be negative 2 minus, negative 1 minus 2. Sorry about that. And 4 minus a negative 5. And when we reduce this, we get negative 3 over, this turns to positive 9. So my slope is negative 1/3. All right, now I can plug that in. So I have my point slope formula. I'm going to go ahead and change this to a positive 5. And now we're back to where we started in the previous video. We're going to put this in standard form, and I'm going to distribute this through, and I'm going to get y minus 2 equals negative 1/3 x minus 5/3. And I'm going to have to add 2 to both sides. When I add the 2 here, I'm going to go ahead and move this guy over. So this will be 1/3 x plus y equals negative 5/3. And I'm going to go ahead and make this 6/3. 6/3 equals 2. So I know you already know how to convert. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you just find the common denominator. So we're going to get 1/3 x plus y equals 1/3. Now I can't have a fraction, so I'm just going to simply multiply everything through by 3. So that cancels this 1/3 for the x. So multiply that by 3, and I just get x plus 1/3 y, and that's fine to have a fraction there, equals 1. Because when you multiply 3 times 1/3, that equals 1. Okay? Now let's do another one. We have 6, 5, and then we have 12, negative 3. Let me find my slope first. So I'm going to call this x of 1, y sub 1. I like to label because I don't want to get confused. And I know my slope formula is change in y over change of x. And recall this is rise over run. And we know this is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1. So I'm just going to put in the formula, and I'm going to get negative 3 minus 5 over 12 minus 6. That's going to give me negative 8 over 6. If you reduce that, that's by 2. Just divide both parts by 2, and you get negative 4/3. So I pick any point I want. Doesn't matter, and I suggest you try both, and you'll find it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and pick the 6 and 5 just because it's smaller, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do y minus 5 equals negative 4/3 times x minus 6. Now, I'm done. That's my point slope formula. On a test, I would be very happy I got that. Now we have to put it in standard form. So I'm going to clean up the right side here. Y minus 5 equals negative 4/3 x plus, and what I'm doing is I'm going to multiply negative 4/3 times negative 6/1. I'm just putting this in fraction form. Two negatives make a positive. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So I'm going to change those to positive. That's going to give me plus 8. Now, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I'm going to move him over. When he moves over this side, you're actually adding 4/3, positive 4/3 to both sides. So he's going to be positive 4/3 x plus y, because my y is already positive, equals 13. And I'm going to state this again. The more you get used to this, when you cross the equal sign, I say it's crossing the bridge. Cross the bridge. If he was positive, you change him to negative. If he's negative, we're going to change him to positive like we did here. Now, we can't have a fraction, so to get rid of the fraction, I'm simply going to multiply it through by my denominator. And when I do that, the 3's would cancel and I'd get 4x. But then I have to multiply the 3 times the y, and 3 times 13 is 39. So there's my standard form. Okay, the next one is, I think we'll do one more here. Negative 2, comma, negative 7, and I have 1, comma, 2. I had to find my slope first because I had to put this in point slope form. And I label, basically this is 0.2, 0.1. I keep my index numbers the same. And I use my slope formula. So my slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I just plug everything in. 2 minus a negative 7 over 1 minus a negative 2. So this gives me 2 plus 7, which is 9, and 1 plus 2, which is 3. So my slope is 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick 0.2. I just think, just looking at it, that looks easier to me than trying to do the double negatives. So I'm going to do y minus 2 equals 3 times x minus 1. I'm going to clean this up. Luckily, my slope is not a fraction. Minus 3. I'm going to add the 2 to both sides. So I get y equals 3x minus 1. Now he's going to cross over the equal sign. He has to go first. Since he's positive, I'm going to make him negative. My y was already positive, and I have negative 1. Again, all we were doing really is subtracting 3x from both sides. That's why he's negative. All right. I can't have a negative in standard form for my a part. So I negate everything. When you negate everything, you're going to get 3x minus y equals 1. Basically, what you're doing is you're multiplying each term by negative 1. And that just changes the signs. So that's your standard form. Okay, the next video we're going to make is, let me see here. We're going to write in slope-intercept form.